Hey all, welcome back to Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age Struggle for Freedom. Last time we found out that we could, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there for a second. So last time we checked, we were told about this, a Urutan Eater that has been terrorizing the area, so now we're fighting it so now we're fighting it here and now, and off chump, I happened to steal an ancient sword, which I didn't notice at first because I was attacking it that this thing also absorbs earth, but it is weak to wind. So when you get the chance, you can just use arrow on it. Finally getting back into this. I am gonna be helping out Soundcaster hosting the FF12 Twins tournament. It's like a new gimmick tournament that he proposed, and everyone's gonna be in on. At least for right now, anyways. So I'll definitely be helping him out with that when I get the chance, and I'll try to get back into this a little more often as I can. I'm just trying to continue to find more work now. It's because Amazon just started the whole flex shift, so I gotta keep an eye on what shifts I want to pick up and try to get as many as I could. Yeah, because the thing about that is that the shift switches would be available when I get notified, so that way I'll be able to keep an eye on what shifts I want and what shifts I will just skip out on. At least this is my that's my job for right now. Working at Amazon warehouse. I might have mentioned this before in the other part, but in case you don't remember, I'm just gonna mention it here. But yeah, basically the Urutan Eater, nothing much to this boss. He's not really that hard at all. He does have auto protect, so he does take a little bit to wear it down, but you'll take him down eventually, like I was able to do here. Now the reason why we're doing this, because actually there is a cutscene you can trigger, which will allow you to make the next boss fight, the Garula, I think it is, if I remember right, a lot easier because you get the berries that significantly weakens the boss. Just makes it a hell of a lot more tolerable for you to take him on outright. Normally I would cut this out because we have seen this area before, but for the sake of getting this side quest done, I do show it off because I kind of want to be able to show everyone what you would need to do and where to go. And I do show the map from time to time. Not only to give myself a clue of where I am, but to to let you guys know where I'm doing as well. This is naturally, unfortunately, a very big area. So, like I said at the beginning of the Sand Sea portion of the game, this will take me several parts to do because I just don't want one gigantic part to be so drawn out that I just run out of things to say. At least I try my best to do it, anyways. Pretty much other than that, you know, you just do your usual, hack and slash, steal when you feel like looting. I get a lot of handkerchiefs though. Something tells me that I'll be needing them for oil later on down the road. Call it a hunch. Normally I would use arrow here to finish these guys off, but I kind of want to hold on to the MP just so I can get cure. I mean, I know I have charge at this point, but considering I don't have high potions as of right now, I'm kind of skipping out on it, at least for the time being. Now, once you do kill the Urutan, you just talk to the Sand Sea Moogle, and he'll just tell you where to go. Then pretty much after that, you just basically just go back out one map and go up the stairs, and that's how you would trigger the cutscene. I don't think you really need to do much else here. Not sure why I felt like showing off the. I guess I felt like showing off that I completed this whole map. But honestly though, I don't think we'll have to come back here ever again, other than for maybe a much later side quest that we can take on. Um, but we don't. But pretty much after this, we don't have to revisit the area again. At least not for a long while. This game definitely has a lot of, especially in the later half of the game, it has a lot of areas you can revisit after you beat them at a certain point. Whether it's to do a side quest or find any other extra treasure you weren't able to from before. Or if you're, well, I mean, in terms of doing quests and stuff like that. In terms of being able to grind for loot in order to sell to Bazaar and then get like those rare items, you will be doing that quite a bit, depending on the area. And unfortunately, because this Urutan apparently pissed off its leader, the leader is going to execute one of its own kind here. That's just because, by their ruling, they should not, by any means necessary, seek help outside their tribe. Otherwise, they just get killed for it. I guess it's one of those things where, you know, their laws are absolute. The Queen of the Urutan, that's who she is, okay. Commending the dust. More like you used a banish spell. It sent him to like the 9th dimension. If you're gonna be commending the dust, I mean, I would imagine you would just like completely disintegrate, and there would be dust flown all over the place, which I thought would have been rather fitting, based off the sentence. But yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, surprisingly, they like to spare a movable friend. Well, of course, because that's Square's property. You don't want to damage the merchandise. Okay, so now it looks like that we can pick up the flower here. I think you really only need one of them. Yeah, so we got the Elixir berries. No, it's not a berry you can give to your Pokemon that will boost one of its stats when it's in critical or restores HP or anything like that. It's a berry, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, that you can use to weaken the boss. And we got some more hack and slashing to do here, of course. And we got some. I think I just got another bow gun here. Yeah, they're surprisingly easy to get, but then again, there's just so many of them. Man, so it looks like that, you know, same rules apply here. At least a good thing about running into the same enemies is that, we are getting a lot of the same loot, so we're definitely going to be able to, make a lot of money here. At least the next time we see a vendor, I think you can get to a vendor before the boss fight, and before the boss fight, you definitely should be upgraded at that point, as early as possible. Yeah, apparently, it's something I'm not sure if I did show off in one of the previous videos or not, but these Urutan monsters also have Tri-Attack, not like the Pokemon move, but that can do a little over 500 damage, and that does hit rather hard at this point. But nothing you won't be able to heal off, though, with a simple Cura, which is the best healing spell at this point in time. Excuse me. Alright, and there's plenty of the other areas we have not yet explored. I will be covering the rest of this area, the next part, including the monster hunt fight, and then I believe, depending on how much time I elapses, I may or may not be able to cover the next boss fight that will be coming up, the gorilla. Alright, got 2 earth stones that time. Actually, I have gotten occasions, actually I believe it is in this video, that you can also get another rare drop from these Urutan monsters called Magicites. Magicites are basically the more upgraded version of the elemental stones. Something you can still, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit tired. Something that you can still sell for loot. For a bit more. They're not like groundbreaking treasures or super rare treasures or anything like that, but rather just rather something you still sell for. I don't remember off the top of my head if you can get anything out of it. I'm sure I will. So I'm sure I'll get something good down the line. As far as here, I guess I can talk about some other things while not much is going on here. For those that keep an eye on the Smash Brothers community, there has been talk about, you know, there has been talk about who the DLC characters are going to be for Smash Ultimate. Piranha Plant recently just got released. They've announced a couple months ago that Joker from Persona 5 is going to be in the game, and there are 4 more characters to be announced. The rumors were going to be that Erdrick from Dragon Quest, Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, one of the Marines from Doom, and Steve from Minecraft will be in the game. I'm not sure how much truth there is behind it. However, recently on Twitter, I think it was the creator or the illustrator or the designer of Dragon Quest tweeted a picture of Kirby sitting next to a shield that you would get in Dragon Quest, which unless they decide at the last minute to replace him with someone else entirely, it could very well be Erdrick from Dragon Quest. I have been aware of the series for quite a while. I have not played any of the games. I do know that the third one for NES is one of the more popular games to play if you're going to be into the franchise. And I do have the newest Dragon Quest on my PS4 as of right now, and it's pretty cool who I played it so far. And the graphics definitely remind me a lot of some of the Dragon Ball games. I mean, well, probably no shit, because I'm sure that I think it's the same creator. Actually, let me look that up, and now I'm really curious. Is it the same creator that made Dragon Quest, also the anime Dragon Ball? Let me just look up the guy's name very quick. Yeah. One of the creators of the franchise is Yuji Horii. He's a scenario writer and the game designer. The character designer is Akira Toriyama, and then the music composer is Koichi Sugiyama. Yeah, there we go. I believe it was him and Sakaguchi that also helped create the Chrono Trigger. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I went in the blank there, but yeah, but that is pretty much, pretty much all I gotta say about that right now. Yes, I know about, I mean, I'm more familiar with Chrono Trigger rather than Dragon Quest, because I played Chrono Trigger before, and Chrono Trigger is still a fantastic RPG game, definitely one of the very best of the 90s, and probably still holds up to this day. Considering it was made by the same people that did Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Dragon Ball, which is amazing what these guys were able to come up with. But back to this. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I'm saying this. Unfortunately, it's just that it's me exploring basically a lot of the same. That's a problem I did have with the game, is just that the area is just way too big. I mean, I know it's meant to be like this rundown area where not a lot's going on, but it's just a little bit too expansive for my liking. And I know in RPGs they make areas very expansive to the point where they look similar enough. But this is where they kind of dragged out a little bit too much for me. They could have confined that to fewer areas than they were able to than they did show off. And you might have noticed too, I switched up Balthier's weaponry because I kind of want to show off the guns. I've already shown off what a spear can do. Perhaps maybe I can show off what a bowgun can do with next time I use Ash. I mean, perhaps I will, but I know in this game bowguns aren't particularly good. They're just sort of there. I mean, I'm not sure why bowguns are there in the first place, especially since longbows are infinitely better. But I guess then again, it wouldn't require much of your physical strength to pull back on the strain and just let the arrow go. I mean, all you gotta do is just hold up the thing, aim, and shoot. But still, though, I just felt like the bow guns isn't exactly worth going after, except for maybe one of the bolts that can inflict disable onto the enemy. That's a minor exception, and one I feel is inconsequential. Because the other options you have, which is far out damage the bowgun weapon anyway, so I don't see that being a bit of a point. But one thing cool here about the new ancient sword I got, well, it's not new, I've had one before, but I guess me being able to buy one, I was able to save some money. So has the ancient sword is not only earth elemental, but it can also inflict immobilize, which can be useful if you want the monsters to not be able to approach you. Excuse me. I found some more money. I kind of wish it was a little bit more money than what the areas offer me here. I mean, that's like extra sand worth of money right there. You should give me at least 5 times more gil than you normally do. Come on, game. Alright, and basically the rest of the part here is just me exploring another portion of the Zartenia Caverns. We will be definitely visiting this area for something pretty important to pick up. I mean, while it is optional, but it will be important for us to pick up at a later time. I'm not sure why the attack is doing 0 damage. I'm not sure if it's because perhaps Vossler's weapon is a certain element, or maybe the monsters is just resistant to great swords. altogether, I don't know, I just found it to be a little bit strange, because the rest of my characters can do damage just fine, and the Spiritons are not really hard to take down, you know, at all. And oh, by the way, if you also happen to have the Aqua Shot, which I don't equip just yet, I do equip a little bit later on, but if you do happen to have the Aqua Shot, then, oh, excuse me, sorry once again, then you would be able to do at least 300 damage to him per hit, which actually would not be that bad. You can also combo that with Friend Aqua Spell to do some more damage, considering these guys are weak to water, which I think is a little weird, because I believe they're weak to water. I mean, but then again, why are we getting water stones? I don't know. But yeah, in this area, there's not really much to do here, except for taking on more slimes. Again, if you want to be able to get some big-time, some decent experience here, the slimes are definitely your option here. And we're just slapping around here. Alright, but back to the, and apparently I guess that's not the only thing going around. I know I'm going to go off topic again, but it's just not a lot going on here. There was also a very funny rumor in Mortal Kombat 11 that there's a funny thing that was going on among the fighting community for Mortal Kombat 11 that the fans wanted Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo series to be in the game, and then Boom was kind of playing off on it for a while and then eventually the creators of the game basically just harshly shut it down, and now it's no longer a meme. Rip Shaggy. I mean, I know that, I mean, the funny thing is that there's always going to be a vocal minority that is going to want these certain characters in this game, because why not? And I think some of the developers kind of took it with a grain of salt and think, they just want to do it just to make memes out of it. Like, they really don't want it. And that, because I guess the mindset is that, oh, we like to see this character in this game because for the lulz, and then a few months later, they're like, why was he ever in the game in the first place? There was no need to put him in. And basically, they don't like being told, well, you wanted him in the game, and we said yes, you know? You got what you want, and now you're asking if you really wanted it in the first place. And it's kind of like that mindset that kind of drives fans crazy, because they'll want a character, but then they won't give it to them because they don't really want it. It's like I said, they're telling us we don't know what we really want. And the fan base can grow a little bit mad to the point where they'll start making memes, or, you know, or they'll just continue to, I guess you could say they were harass the developers about it. Like, there was a thing on Twitter, too, a few months back, like sometime last year, when it was pretty much confirmed that Waluigi is not going to be a playable character in Smash Brothers. The fans went into like an outrage over the fact that Waluigi is not going to be in the game. There was even one that actually threatened one of the Smash developers, like flat out. Oh, by the way, there's Penelo twitching like that. I think it's because her AI is just trying to move, but she can't because she's immobilized, which I thought was pretty funny to look at. But yeah, basically, someone sent a death threat to one of the developers of Smash over Twitter because Waluigi's not going to be in the game. Honestly, if you want to blame someone for the decision making, or give credit to someone for the decision making, that person would have to be Masahiro Sakurai, because he's the guy that calls the shots, since he's the one behind Smash Brothers, you know, all the way through, ever since the very beginning. So, and honestly, I don't know why, just because one character's not in the game, it completely ruins everyone else's experience. Because honestly, you know, the roster is already deep enough as it is, and it's only going to get bigger within the next year. So, I think it's perfectly fine. As far as the other DLC characters, Joker I welcome, obviously, because I love Persona 5. Ryo Hayabusa, I won't mind entirely too much, because I am familiar with Ninja Gaiden. Erdrick, I'm not a Dragon Quest enthusiast, or a Dragon Quest aficionado, I should say, but I'm sure it will make Dragon Quest fans very happy, so yeah, I'd be fine with that, Dragon Quest representation. The Marine from Doom, that's a bit of an odd choice, but okay. I kind of would rather have Master Chief from Halo, but that's just me. And Steve from Minecraft, you could really pick someone else other than Steve from Minecraft if you're gonna go with another Microsoft property. Like you could have gone somewhere else, like Banjo-Kazooie, for example. I think that would have been a much better pick if you want a property of Microsoft rather than Minecraft. But with that being said, this is the end of the video. See you all next time.